Okay, welcome race fans. Here tonight we are at Wings and Fenders running at Charlotte. This is, I believe, Charlotte Road they are at. So going to be doing 56 laps here. Small field, but pretty good bunch of racers right here. So stay with us, folks, and hopefully you follow through here. The rest of the race is going to be a good one. Okay, a little less than a minute and a half till they start qualifying. So stay with us, folks. Okay, practice time is over. We're going to be heading to qualifying, folks. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for qualifying. Well, it's Wings and Fenders IndyCar Road Series, yeah. Wings and Fenders League. Okay, let's get down here to the grid. We'll take a look at it here. The results, Robert Barty on the pole with a 59.868. Congratulations to him. Brian Brewer coming in second in the number 23. Andrew Pashaw in the number 3 starting third. Michael Hillard in the number 61 starting fourth. Marcus Jedstall in the 666 starting fifth. James Lehman in the 01 starting sixth. Ben Walton in the number 22 starting seventh, the last one to qualify. Dustin Barkham in the number 5 starting 8th. Lewis Van in the 51 starting 10th. And Colin Slife in the number 31 starting 11th. Okay, a 10-car field here tonight, so should be interesting. Thanks there, Tangy. Wait till I get wound up here, buddy. Okay, Robert Barty going to lead him around here. One parade lap around this kind of a tricky road course, kind of a short little road course in between the oval. They do kind of make a short pass through a couple of turns and back out onto the back part. I believe it's back in turn 2 is where they come back out onto the track at the end of turn 2, and then they'll come down the back stretch and around turn 3 and 4 down the front stretch, and then they got to cut back in just past the start finish line, cut back into the road course. Hey, what's up there, Beaver Man? Yeah, should be a pretty good race. Most of them are DW12s in here. There's a couple of the old Indy cars. It's probably about a mixture of half and half, but they do run pretty well together. This is the Wings part of the Wings and Fenders. They run the Fenders part on another night. I'm not sure which night. They run, I think they're running trucks right now or something. That's the Fenders part. There you go. You can kind of see a layout of the track, what it looks like. Actually, they go back out onto the track in turn 1. Oh, excuse me. I've ran this course, but it's been a long time. Yes, yeah, second place there on the outside. The number 23 is the old Indy car. Our pole sitter, Robert Barty, there driving the DW12. Third place is also an old Indy car. So they're actually pretty fast. They've got a lot more horsepower. So we'll see how these guys come down to it. Okay, pace car's in. Robert Barty hits the throttle a little early. Green flag is waving. He gets a jump on the start. Goes into turn 1 pretty flat out. Looks like the only one that didn't start was Dustin Markham. Not sure what happened to Dustin. So we're down to a 9-car field. So, okay, Brian Brewer hanging on right there in second in the old Indy car. We'll see his horsepower produced right here coming down onto the backstretch. You'll see him reel in that DW12. Quite a bit more horsepower on the straight stretches. Like they were pretty much about evenly matched right there. Brian Brewer about to give him a what for here in a little bit. I don't know. DW12s are pretty stout. Going into the turn here, though, looks like Brian Brewer going to take over the lead in the old Indy car. Marcus Jedstill there in third. Andrew Pashaw in fourth. James Lehman fifth. Michael Hillard sixth. Ben Walton seventh. Lewis Van 8th, and Colin Slave still sitting on pit road. Not sure what's going on with Colin. Looks like he may have slipped up and had to come into pits there. Not sure. Okay, so back up front, Robert Barty now retaking the lead from Brian Brewer, denying Brian from leading a lap in the race. Robert Barty leading that lap. Brian Brewer had his chance there to take over the lead, but now he's going to have to try to recover with horsepower, and he catches the apron a little bit there into the dirt, and that's just what Robert Barty waited for Brian to make that mistake. And boy, Robert Barty's going to definitely put some distance between them two. Marcus Jedstill still in third, Andrew Pashaw in fourth in the old Indy car, one of our Canadian brothers there. Ben Walton gets by Lewis. Whoa. A little touchy-feely going on there. Him and Lewis Van get together. Ben Walton coming down pit road. A little early for pit road, but he's coming down pit road. Looking here where James Lehman. Looks like James has got some serious damage on that. I don't know if we can go back and find out what happened to James. Looks like he just maybe hit the wall right there. Let's see if we can rewind this back and find out what happened to James. Looks like maybe he might have hit the wall coming off of the road course part of it. Yes, he did. Looks like he was just a little too hot. Maybe trying to rewind it back far enough here to see what happened to him. Looks like maybe him and somebody else get together there. Ben Walton, maybe? James was off in the grass before that. That may have been what slowed him up a lot. As he got into the grass, and then comes off of the road course part and hits the wall, and it looks like he gets into Ben Walton there. So he is trying to get the thing back to pit road, which he does, and it looks like James already taken it behind the wall. Okay, back up front here, Robert Barty and Brian Brewer still battling it out. Brewer drives it into the turn hard, and those two touch. Brewer capitalizing on that mistake right there. Barty kind of took it in there a little bit high, and Brewer gonna get on by him. Yeah, it looks like Lehman out of the race. There's too much damage, so we're down to 8 cars. And Brian Brewer about to come around here and lead his first lap of the race. This guy's riding on the apron. I don't know about all that. Fastest way around it on the inside. Brewer does lead that lap, so congratulations to him for leading the lap. As they come around, looks like Colin Slife gonna have some serious damage on that car. I don't know, he may have to tow. I don't know if we can find out what. It looks like he just come off of pit road there. I don't know, we'll go back and see here. No, he didn't come off pit road. Looks like maybe he might have just drove it into the turn a little bit too hot. Yep, and just loops it around. And boy, he's got some serious damage on that car. Okay, he's on pit road, so anyhow, back up here to the front. Brian Brewer first. Robert Barty now 3.5 seconds behind him. And caution is out, folks. Not sure exactly where, but let's see if we can figure out where the caution is. I think the caution flew because of Slife right there. I think that must have been an admin. Yes. Marcus Jedstill throws the caution. So, alright. Well, back up front. Brian Brewer coming around to catch up to the pace car. Been the Brian and Robert show out front. Everybody trying to get caught up here and slowed down. Robert Barty catches up. Andrew Pashaw back here a little ways. Lewis Van still coming around. Ben Walton will be the wave by, I guess. Out up the tail end of the lead lap. Marcus Jedstill as well. And Michael Hillard back here in 7th. And it looks like Colin Slife has taken his car behind the pit road. So now we're down to 7 cars. They're eating them up pretty quick here, folks. All right, Barty coming down pit road. A few of the guys coming down pit road. taking advantage of that situation. They're both away. Lights are off on the pace car, so we're going green this time, folks. Oh, caution comes back on. That's going to let Michael Hillard go back around and get. He will be at the tail end of the lead lap now. So catching everybody back up to the pace lap. Hillard got to go clear around the whole track here to get caught up to the tail end of the field. All right, Michael will get caught up here. He's only about 35 seconds behind now. We'll see him start to slow down here in just a minute. Lewis Van on pit road. Not sure. He looks like maybe he just stopped to top off that fuel tank. So that'll put him at the back end of the field in 7th place. Are you still there, Tangy? Nobody's talking anymore. Okay, lights off on the pace car, and we're ready to go green, folks. And kind of looks to me like we're going to go single file here. Not sure why, but maybe it's a rule. If there's a caution in the first 10 laps, they go single file. I don't know that for a fact. I know a lot of leagues implement that. Cool there, John. Make sure you all click that follow button. We appreciate that very much. We'd like to have our followers, you know. You can catch us here every Sunday morning and Sunday evening for races on Twitch. Pace cars in. Brian Brewer hits the throttle, not waiting on the green flag. Robert Barty in second, trying to hang on to him. And right now they're tied for leading the most laps. Both of them. But Brian Brewer says, well, I'm going to see if I can't beat that. Barty trying to hang on to Brewer now, kind of like a different thing that was earlier. It was the other way around. Pashaw, oh, Marcus Jetstill getting by Pashaw. Ben Walton in fifth. And the V-Power DW12. Look for him to work his way up to the front. Michael Hillard in sixth. And Lewis Van in seventh. Thank you, John. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, you can check us out at MaxSpeedTV.com. And like I said, we do broadcast here every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern. And I believe it's at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We also broadcast this one here, Wings and Fenders. So you can check us out at them times here on Twitch. All the other broadcasting I do is up on YouTube, which if you scroll down below the window, you can see our YouTube channel and go check out some of our videos there. Robert Barty back up into the lead. As he gets by, it looks like Brian Brewer must have made a mistake because Jed still gets by him. And now Brian Brewer goes back to third. I don't see any damage on Brewer's machine, but that doesn't mean that there may not be. I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes. Good battle going on here between second and third, but in the meantime, Barty's out there by 5.3 seconds. He's heading to the next race. Definitely one to watch for the win here. Barty, he knows how to get around most of these road courses. He's pretty doggone good. Oh, and Marcus Jedstall out of the... Wow, what happened there? Let's go back and take a look. Looks like maybe him and Brian Brewer might have got together. Well, let's go back here real quick and see from... Yeah, it looks like Brian Brewer might have drove it in there really hard and got into the side of him. Kind of punted Jedstall out of the way. That's also going to hurt Brian Brewer's car too, so I wouldn't doubt if he may be heading to pit road here before long. No, he's actually caught right back up here and is just past Andrew Pashaw for second place again. But these guys are way back, 8.7 seconds behind the leader. Holy smoke. Back to third place there, Andrew Pashaw. Quite a ways back. Ben Walton in fourth. And Michael Hillard fifth. Lewis Van sixth. Lewis trying to get a run here on Michael Hillard. A little bit squirrely in that turn. Got back in the throttle just a little too quick. Sometimes that's all it takes, and well, you can loop that thing right around. Lewis Van wants to kind of take it a little easy here. Got a long race to go yet. Only on lap 15. Now Andrew Pashaw gets back by Brian Brewer, so them two battling out quite a bit. Boy, I don't know, Andrew Pashaw is really showing Brian Brewer a tough time out here. He's blinking a lot, but our Canadian brother's doing quite well. Brian Brewer back to third, Ben Walton in fourth. We're about to have a battle here between Michael Hillard and Lewis Van. Those two have been pretty close for quite a little while now. Jetstill way back in 7th place. If you remember, he got kind of hooked up on that damage there. He's 55 seconds behind the leader, so he's really not that far ahead of the leader. Leader's actually coming right up behind him. Hopefully Marcus, I'm not sure if he pitted or not, to maybe try to get some of that damage fixed. I don't know. Obviously it wasn't too bad a damage because it was on the back right wheel where Brian Brewer got into him. Now Brian Brewer trying to catch back up to Andrew Pashaw. Not far behind him. He is catching Andrew Pashaw, man. He is really close to him now. He's right within about a second of him. About to start feeling the draft here, I believe. Pashaw doing a great job out there battling with him, man. I'm telling you what, he's holding him off quite well. Back about 8 seconds behind Brian Brewer, Ben Walton. And then he's got company with Michael Hillard and Lewis Van. Now Lewis Van gets by Michael Hillard. Drives it in there quite hard, and that puts Hillard back to 6th. We're on lap 18 out of 56, folks, so got lots of racing to go. All right, back up front as Robert Barty comes around, tries to put a lap on Marcus Jedstill. Jedstill trying to stay on the lead lap at all costs in case another caution comes out. He could get that, all the way back around and get caught up to the tail end of the lap. So Barty could give him a little slack there, but not in the racer's nature to do things like that. Barty comes up really close to him. Jedstill really fighting to hold him off. Not sure. Looks like he's going to get out of the way now. Well, I thought he did. No, he's still out ahead of Barty. Jedstill racing the heck out of it, trying to stay on that lead lap. Well, I'll tell you what, he's doing one heck of a job. Jedstill, he is a really good road course driver. I can attest to that. I see him every Sunday morning in the Dogs of Endurance and Sunday evening here, so he's definitely set a name for himself, I can assure you. Oh, and Barty loose. That's going to do it for him. He's going to be an off-course penalty right there. Boy, that cost him a lot of time on the track. Pashaw going to close up a little bit on him, I believe, on that one. Yes, he did. He's down to About 12 seconds behind him now. So that cost Barty about 4 or 5 seconds on the track. Brian Brewer not far behind Pshaw. And back 23.7 seconds behind the leader is Ben Walton. Ben doing a good job out here, though. He did get tangled up with somebody there earlier and got a lap down, but he got his lap back. Jedstill now still on the lead lap, 58 seconds behind the leader, which probably puts Barty really not that far behind him, because Barty's pretty quick. Yeah, Barty just like a second and a half, 2 seconds behind him, so it won't be long. He'll be starting to catch up to him and feeling that draft, but catching him's one thing and getting by him's another. As we were watching there a little bit earlier, man, he was having a tough time trying to figure out where and when to pass Marcus Jedstill. Let's go back and check on our old buddy Lewis Van back here, running in the 6th spot, because Hillard got back by him, and Lewis Van goes back to 6th now. Jedstill starting to get gobbled up by Robert Barty here. Barty now into the draft of him and trying to mirror every move that Jedstill makes. Pulls out to the outside, dives it to the bottom of the track, and it looks like he's going to make that pass look pretty easy. Oh man, washed right up the hill in front of Jedstill. And now Jedstill going to drive it into the turn kind of hard here, but he's giving the leader all the room he needs. So Jedstill goes 1 lap down. Ryan Brewer now back into 2nd place as he got back by Pshaw. And that puts him 14.2 seconds behind our leader, Robert Barty. Those two were battling up at the beginning, if you remember. Man, I'll tell you what, Brian Brewer did manage to get past Barty, as Barty made a mistake in the one turn there, took it a little bit high. Pshaw now a little loose coming out of the turn, and boy, still blinking like crazy. Ben Walton back here in 4th place, 28 seconds behind the leader, and he's starting to make some difference. He's making up a little bit of ground here and there. So like I said, don't count Ben Walton out. He may get that car back up into contention here before the race is over. Still got a long race to go. We're not quite at the halfway mark yet. Meantime, Barty up front. Pshaw back in 3rd. Ben Walton 4th. Michael Hillard 5th. Lewis Van 6th. And Marcus Jedstall 7th, and Mark is spinning out again. Let's go check it out and see what happened here. Just loops it right around at the entrance to the oval. Just loops it around. So, okay, no harm, no foul. Didn't hit anything or anybody. So, good job by Marcus. And it looks like he's heading for pit road. Going to get some new tires. He's coming up on the halfway mark, so why not? Get tires and fuel and keep... Well, it probably keeps buffering, maybe because you don't have enough internet to watch it. I don't know. I really don't know. This is what I always broadcast. I'd never heard anybody complain about it. I don't know. I'm watching it. It looks good. Not buffering on me. Anybody else see it buffering? 'Cause I don't. Sometimes if you don't have enough internet to watch what I'm pushing, but I'm pushing it about as low as I can push to have a quality stream. 3000 bit rate, 30 frames a second, 720p. I mean, wow. You really can't get much lower than that. And I've never had anybody complain about it. I used to broadcast a little higher and it did buffer. A lot of people had trouble with it, so I cut it way back so everybody can watch it. Okay, Brian Brewer now 5.7 seconds, so he is reeling in the leader, Robert Barty. 5.7 seconds behind him. Andrew Pashaw back 21 seconds. Looks like he had a little trouble there. Ben Walton in fourth. And he's not far from catching up to Andrew Pashaw. Louis Van in fifth. You say you have seen it buffer a couple times? That's weird. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. I've never had any problems with it before. Maybe try going to MaxSpeedTV.com and watch it. Might be a little bit better. You can watch it right there on the website. If you scroll down, there's the viewing screen there. Sometimes the website will give you a little better view, you know, because it's got a little bit more power. It gives it. Oh, well, there you go. You're watching from Australia. Yeah, I know. Well, it shouldn't be your upload speed. It would be your download speed. So that's what it's going to depend on, your download speed. But yeah, there you go. That's from Australia. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that would make all the difference in the world right there. But the upload speed doesn't mean anything for watching. It's your download. I don't know why that guy, you know, like I said, sometimes people don't, their computer's not as good. Maybe their internet's bad. It can be a multitude of things why it buffers, you know. I don't believe it's anything that's going on my side, but very cool. Very cool. Good. Thank you. Okay, Louis Van back here. Marcus Jedstall now in sixth as he got by Michael Hillard. Michael Hillard at the tail end of the field now, a couple of laps down. And Brian Brewer starting to lose a little ground now to the leader, Robert Barty. Robert knows he's coming. And Robert's starting to put the hammer down and starting to pull back away from Brian Brewer. Barty out front here with a DW12. Brian Brewer in the old Indy car. Ben Walton now goes into the 3rd spot. A lot of guys starting to come down pit road and get their tires taken care of, serviced. They are a little past halfway now, so time for new tires and topping off that fuel tank. Make sure they can make it the rest of the way. A lot of people don't realize too that a car that has less fuel in it, car has less fuel and it sometimes don't have as much downforce. They don't want to hold the track quite as well as a car that's say half full of gas or less. It makes the car a lot lighter, and it does affect how they run. Believe me, it does. So those of that come out here and race some of these cars, a car with a full tank of gas runs a whole lot different, holds the track a whole lot different and better than. Oh, okay. Well, sorry. I thought maybe it might have been worth a try. That holds the track a lot better than a car that's, say, got a quarter of a tank of gas in it. Okay, so Lewis Van now into 4th, and some of these guys have made their pit stops. Barty's been on pit road a couple of times already, but Brian Brewer, I'm not showing him being on pit road yet. I don't know. Sometimes that can be inaccurate. I don't know why. My relative here doesn't show an accurate account of how many times. IRTVO is just not real accurate on that. So, but I'm showing Brian Brewer has not been on pit road. Here he is, 7.7 seconds behind the leader, 7.5. Ben Walton, 43 seconds back. Lewis Van, almost 55 seconds back. And he's going to have company with the leader coming up behind him pretty quick here. Barty about to get up to Lewis Van and put him a lap down. He's just about maybe 6 seconds behind him right now. One gallon is 10 pounds. What? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yep. Is it 10? Is it 10 pounds? Okay. I did not know that. I guess it is because of the heavy metals in it. I know water is 8 pounds to the gallon. But gas, has metals in it. So, yeah, you're probably right. It probably is a little heavier. Yeah, that's a very good analogy there. That's pretty cool, Chronic. Yeah, that weight does. Sure, it makes the car a little slower out there on the track, but it does. Sometimes these setups are made for the weight of the car. Well, there you go, driving driving it home. Excuse me. There you go. You should have been in the race. You forgot you were in this league. Wow, how could you forget you're in this league? Been a pretty good race, I'll tell you that. Brian Brewer now 23 seconds back. Is finally coming down pit road to get his car serviced. Let's take a look and see what he does on that car. Tires on. Filling up with Sunoco fuel, and he should be out of there in just a second. And there he goes, folks. So Brian Brewer out, and he still is going to maintain second place, but he's going to have to get it up to speed pretty quick because falling back into the clutches of Ben Walton. Ben Walton only 5 seconds behind him now, and Ben's a good driver. Oh yeah, it's definitely, you ought to look them up. Wings and Fenders is the name of the league here. I'll throw the logo up real quick just so you can see. That's the name of the league. If you look that up on iRacing, Wings and Fenders, and subscribe to their league. Good bunch of Good bunch of young drivers. If you like run here with young drivers, a few of the guys are a little older. Ben Walton, I believe, is a little bit older than most of these guys. So, but yeah, good bunch of folks. Brian Brewer, Robert Barty. These guys are really good. Louis Van, the owner of the league. Right there, he is the owner. You can message him about maybe joining or anything. This is the wings portion of it. They do run the fenders portion of it on another night. And right now he said they run the trucks, but I don't know what night they run that on or any specifics on the fenders part. But they race 2 nights a week. Sunday nights is the wings part, and then another night they run the fenders part. Fenders meaning, you know, cars with fenders on them. Of course. Duh. That's not hard to figure out, I guess. Okay, let's get back up to the leader here. Robert Barty, as he deserves some camera time. We're going to give him some camera time here because he's doing a super job out here by himself. Nobody challenging him right now. Brian Brewer back 16.1 seconds behind Barty. So I would say after Brian Brewer pitted, Barty must have pitted to try to keep them to, you know, kind of like on an even keel. Oh yeah, all the cars are fun to race. You know, this is just the DW12s and the old Indy cars. And then, like I said, I think he said that they've kind of switched over to the trucks right now on the fenders part. But it's voted on by the members, whatever they want to run. So, you know, and he's trying to build the league up to a great thing, and he's got a lot of good things going for the league. So, you know, like I said, look him up, apply, and you know, I'm sure he'd be glad to get you in there. Okay, so Barty coming up on Michael Hillard now. And Michael's already a couple of laps down, but Barty looking to maybe get by him and put him another lap down. We got 20 laps to go here, not much further to race. We're well past halfway. And Brian Brewer now 16.4 seconds behind the leader. Ben Walton quite a ways back further yet. He's about another 8 seconds behind Brian Brewer. We can check this out. There you go. You can see he's back there about 8 seconds behind Brian Brewer. All right, and from Ben Walton back to Louis Van, another 15 seconds back to Louis. Louis still on the lead lap, and he's in 4th place. 11 and a half seconds back to Andrew Pashaw. Well, mark it on your calendar. If you got a cell phone, you can probably pop yourself a reminder up on your cell phone. That's what I do. That's how I remember it. I got Google Calendar on there, and I just put a time and date on there for all my broadcasts, because I do broadcast seven days a week, 3 times on Saturday, twice on Sunday, and every other night of the week I do 1. But only on Sundays, these guys like them broadcasted up to Twitch. Everybody else we do on YouTube. All right, then Michael Hillard back here in 6th place. And Marcus Jedstall in 7th. And he's about to have some company here with Brian Brewer, and those two have got a history. So let's keep an eye on these two. They've got a history getting collected together. So we'll kind of keep an eye on them here for a few minutes and see if Brian Brewer can get by and maybe save it for the straightaway, because he does have more horsepower than Jedstall. Let's see if he can do it here on the straightaway. The old Indy car's got a little more horsepower, but he does have just a tick of right front damage on that wing. So Jed's still trying to break that draft, dives it into the bottom there. Brian Brewer comes right up on him pretty close, but not to be done this time. Brian now 21 seconds behind the leader, so Jedstill's kind of holding him up a little. Ben Walton now 1 lap down. Barty did get by him. Oh, and Barty slips again, folks. Let's go see what happened to Barty here. He gets caught in the grass and looks like coming back out onto the track. He just loses it, and boy, that's going to be costly to him. Looking at it, Brian Brewer's now closed up to within 12.5 seconds of him again. Now if Brian could just get by Mark, Jed's still going to lose it right in front of him. What the heck did he do that for? Caution on the track, folks. Wow, I don't know what he did that for. That was kind of crazy. Let's go look at it here from the far chase view. I ain't quite sure why he did that. Looks like he took it down too far down onto the track, and when he come back up onto the track, almost got into Brian Brewer. Brian actually did kind of clip him. So, alright, very interesting theory on that, but everybody getting caught up to the pace car. Well, let's see where Barty's at. He's got quite a ways to go to get around to the pace car. And it looks like Michael Hillard is out of the race. We're down to 6 cars left. And I'm not sure if we're going to see anybody maybe try to utilize pit road for some new tires. Probably wouldn't be bad, but Brian Brewer's going to be right there on Barty's tail now on this restart. So, could be interesting. Are we going to see a DW12 win this? Or are we going to see one of the old Indy cars win it there, Brian Brewer? This is going to be interesting, folks. All right, Ben Walton gets away by. That's going to put him back on the lead lap, so we're going to have 3 of them on the lead lap. Wow. And Ben Walton being a pretty tough customer out there. But he's going to have to keep up with Barty and Brewer. We'll give him a couple minutes here to get caught up. And we'll try to get a word in with him. He's not that far behind him now. He's catching up pretty quick, so it looks like they're getting a lot of them back on the lead lap. Louis Van back on, Andrew Pashaw back on the lead lap. I'm not sure if Marcus Jedstill's going to get. Yeah, it looks like he's going to get away by too. Ben Walton coming down pit road. All right. Well, we're not gonna mess around here, and we're gonna see maybe if we can't get a word in with Brian Brewer. I didn't think he was the leader. I thought Robert Barty was. Okay. Barty may have come down pit road again. Looks like he did. Brian Brewer going to stay out there on them old tires. Let's see if we can get a word in with him. Brian Brewer, this is Rudy up in the MaxSpeedTV booth. You got a copy?
Who are you talking to?
Brian Brewer, do you have a copy?
Oh yeah, go ahead, Rudy.
Well, Brian, I thought Barty was out ahead, but I guess he must have pitted or something. But anyhow, okay, you're the leader. Are you going to be able to hold Barty off here for a win?
We're going to give it our best shot. Seems to run a lot smoother when I'm up front in clean air.
Well, it looks like it's been a lot of fun out there. Been pretty clean racing, just a couple slips here and there. But I don't know, man. It's just that DW12's pretty wicked fast. But you seem to have a little more horsepower on these straightaways. Is that where you're going to try to hold him off the best?
Yeah, copy that, Rudy. Yeah, my off corner and entry is a lot faster than theirs, so hopefully that'll bring us home for a victory.
Okay, Brian, well, we wish you the best of luck, buddy. Go get them, and hopefully we'll talk to you later on the podium anyhow.
Tenfold, appreciate it, Rudy.
Okay, we're going to have to see if Brian's got enough to hold off Robert Barty, Ben Walton, Andrew Pashaw, Lewis Van, these guys all on the same lap with him. So, he's going to have his hands full, and you can bet he's going to be doing a lot of mirror driving. Okay, they're about to come around here and get the green flag. We're going to have 12 laps to go when they get the green. So it's going to be interesting here. Let's see if Brian Brewer can hold them off. This is going to take some serious concentration on all these drivers' parts to make sure that they finish this up clean. Jed's still the only one that's not on the lead lap, and he's kind of mixed in the middle of them. It looks like Lewis Van will be behind him. So, alright, coming down the back stretch here, and when we go into turn 3, come out of turn 4, we're going to get the green flag, and Brian Brewer's going to hit the gas, and he's going to be out of there for 12 more circuits around here. Well, Barty has led 35 laps today. Brian Brewer's led 8, coming to lap 9. He'll have led 9. So this is all it takes, though, is to lead the last one. That's the main thing. Lead that last lap. So let's see what these boys got for Brian Brewer as the pace car dives onto paper road. Brian Brewer hits the gas, and green is out. 12 more laps to go, folks. Well, looks like he's starting to put a little distance on him and Barty, but Barty's going to hang right there. Don't want to forget they've got to get maybe a lap or two to get a little heat built back up. Hey, Kyle. A little bit of heat built back up in them tires. I'm missing you in the booth with me there, brother. Ben Walton now 1.9 seconds back. He could be saving his tires for a late race run, because Ben's usually very, very fast on these road courses, so don't count him out just yet. Andrew Bashaw back in 4th. Lewis Van 5th. But Brian Brewer with company right there. Barty really keeping the pressure on him right now. Barty just 0.6 of a second off of his tail. I would say tailpipe, but these cars don't have really a per se tailpipe. Not like the actual Cup cars and B cars and trucks. They actually have a tailpipe. These things here, it's kind of an exhaust, but it's not really a tailpipe. It's just kind of an exhaust that comes off the back of the engine. And look at Barty putting the pressure on Brian Brewer now, as that DW12 can hang right on that bottom, and Barty going back for the lead as they go side by side and to the line. Barty's got it. Oh, Brian Brewer gets into the back of him, makes him loose. So Barty into the lead. That makes 36 laps he's led. And Brian Brewer right behind him now going to try to outdrive Barty. They drive it into the turns here, and he's got a nose up under him, and Brewer back into the lead. He got a nose under him when he needed to, and he is going to retake the lead. Barty now in second place. Ben Walton back 6.1 seconds. Not sure if he's going to have enough race time or laps to get caught back up to those guys, because he's falling back quite quick here. Louis Van in fourth, Andrew Pashaw fifth, and Marcus Jedstall is into the mix there, but he is a couple laps down. But Jedstall now finally starting to drive really well, but he's a couple of laps down. Okay, let's get back up here to the front, because this is the battle here for the win, because we're coming to 8 to go this time. They're on 9 to go right now, folks. And Barty really keeping the pressure on him right now, waiting for him to make a mistake. They drop it down onto the apron on the back stretch here to try to pick up every available speed that they can. And Brian Brewer, man, he is doing good, but boy, you can see the Barty can really suck up on him with that draft. That is just amazing. That DW12, the aero package on these DW12s are amazing. And now he's going to outdrive Brian Brewer into turn 1 and retake the lead. Brian Brewer going back to second now. So the horsepower that Brewer's got in through the turns and stuff here, the DW12 can actually get more speed on the straightaways, but the pulling power is greater on the old Indy car than it is on the DW12 because they have more horsepower. So Brian Brewer going to try to hang on to Barty and maybe make another late race charge here for the lead. I don't know. He draws right up on the back of our leader and dives it to the bottom and pinches him off up to the high side. Barty going to have to try to fight back, and boy, Brewer doing a dance there to beat him to the line. Oh man, this is going to be an interesting finish here, folks. Brewer did lead that lap, and he's got the line. Oh, Barty loose. No, he gets loose right in turn 1, and man, that's just what Brian Brewer needed to bring that thing to victory lane, as he's got quite the lead over Barty now, folks. Okay, Kyle, well, have fun, buddy. That's what it's all about, having fun. Okay, so Barty back 6 seconds. Boy, I don't know. That's a lot to catch up. Louis Van now gets by Ben Walton. So Louis Van into third. Ben Walton back in fourth. Not sure what's going on with the Ben Walton car, but I know he did have a little bit of damage from earlier. He may not have been able to get all of that fixed up. Andrew Pashaw right behind Ben in one of the old Indy cars, our Canadian brother there. And maybe he can get up there and pass Ben Walton to take over the 4th spot from Ben. He has closed up on his tail quite quick. Okay, Barty now chopping some of that time down to 5.5 seconds. As our leader comes around to take, it'll be 5 laps to go this time when he crosses the line, folks. Now's the time that he cannot make a mistake. He cannot make a mistake. If he makes a mistake like Barty did, Barty's going to be all over him. And he'll be caught right back up to him again. That's all it's going to take is one little bobble, one mistake, just a slip in the corner, spin out like Barty did, and Barty will be caught right back up to him real quick. You can see now Barty 5.1 seconds, so he's really not catching Brewer that quick. There's points of the track that he's a little faster and points of the track where Brewer's a little faster. Kind of evens them out. Barty back in second, trying to reel him in. And it's 7.6 seconds back to Lewis Van. And then quite a ways further back, a couple seconds back to Ben Walton. And Ben trying to hold off Andrew Pashaw. All right, Barty has closed up that gap to 4 seconds now. With 4 laps to go, folks. He is catching Brewer. You can see our leader just up ahead of Robert Barty here. Barty drops clear down on the apron, downshifts, and tries to get more speed. Now down to 3.5 seconds behind our leader, Brian Brewer. And he is driving the wheels off of that thing right now. Oh, and our leader coming up on lap traffic. That's going to hold him up a little bit. Going to have to figure a way to get around that lap traffic quick. Not waste any time. Boy, Barty is closing up on him fast. Down to 2.5 seconds. This is going to be one heck of a battle. They're coming to 2 to go. Can Barty catch him? But like I always say, catching him's one thing, but passing him's another. He's down to 2 seconds as Brian Brewer's got that lap car right ahead of him. Let's look and see. Oh, he did get past the lap car, I guess. No, and he spins it. Brian Brewer spins it. And Barty gets by him. Brian Brewer loses it. Not what he wanted to do. Barty going to cruise to a good victory here. Easy victory for him. Brian Brewer going to be in second place as he tries to get back up to speed. He's already about 6.7 seconds behind him, and they're coming to get the white flag this time. Our leader, Robert Barty. Can we call him Bobby Barty? Bobby Barty. Okay, final lap. One more circuit around here. Brian Brewer 7.5 seconds behind our leader. I doubt if there's enough time for him to catch him. He's fading pretty quick here. I think he's just going to try to accept second place and move on from there. You can Google IRTVO, and I think it takes you to a wiki page. There is some tutorial on it. Very little. Your best bet's YouTube. Go to YouTube. Okay, Barty out there by 8.7 seconds, coming to the checkered flag. Robert Barty waving to us and telling us he is happy for a victory here today. Congratulations to Robert Barty. Wow, what a finish, folks. What a finish. We'll get down here and get a word in with Robert Barty real quick. Okay, why did he disable chat? There we go.
Marcus.
Robert Barty, this is Rudy up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Robert, boy, it looked like a pretty fantastic finish for you. You slipped up earlier there, and Brian Brewer got by you, and you guys were battling it back and forth, and he slipped up, and you got back by him. So you took it on to the victory here. Talk about your racing tonight and how much fun you had.
No, I had plenty of fun. I mean, this track, it feels like that these cars are just not made for it. I mean, it's just very weird, especially on the vacants. That's why you see everyone on the apron driving around the oval like that. And yeah, I mean, pit strategy came into play. We had some cautions that changed up the race. Everyone got some wave arounds. I thought I should pit, get those good tires on the last caution, but I didn't take any fuel. And then on the restart, I was hanging with Brian. We were having really a lot of fun. And then I made some stupid mistake in turn one. And then I was like all hell out after that, trying to catch up to him. And then he got into some loud traffic. I don't know what happened there, but he spun out. And then I got by him, and then, yeah, that was the race from there on.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a great finish, and good to see you out there with the victory today. Anybody you want to thank there, Robert?
You guys, of course, for putting up with us for 2 hours. Thank you. And Lewis, of course, for the great league, and I'll see him in Kentucky.
Okay, Robert, thanks again for talking with us. And just to let you know, you did lead 39 laps here tonight. So definitely the class of the field out there. Pretty good job.
Thank you.
Brian Brewer, you got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead, Rudy.
Well, walk us through that slip there, or whatever it was that happened, buddy. Can you tell us what happened? Because we didn't catch the whole thing.
Well, it all started, I was coming into turn one. Lap car was coming out of the pits, kind of squeezed me wide. That was no big deal, but having to look at him in my back mirror, I guess he was trying to trail me. Just broke my concentration for a little bit, and I lost it going into turn two. I couldn't hear anything you said, Rudy.
Sorry, I had my mic muted for some stupid reason. Oh, this thing mutes itself, I think, half the time. Anyhow, great job out there today. Even though you finished second, man, you gave Robert a pretty tough time. You led 17 laps today, which is really good. So congratulations to you for taking second place, and anybody you want to thank or shout out to.
Yeah, just give a shout out to you guys for broadcasting and Lewis for putting on these races every week. Having a blast.
Well, that's what it's all about, Brian. But good job out there today. Congrats on your second place, and thanks for talking with us.
Hey, thanks, Rudy.
Lewis Van, I think you were coming in third, didn't you?
Something like that. Not that it matters.
Well, it most certainly does. What a comeback for you, Lewis. I don't know exactly what all happened there. You got by Ben Walton, which is a feat itself because Ben is always fast at these road courses. You got by him with a few laps to go and never looked back. Congratulations on your third spot, Lewis. Talk about your racing here today a little bit.
Well, firstly, I'm all here for the league. I mean, I just love running this league. I don't really mind where I finish at the end of the day as long as the broadcast looks good and people enjoy themselves. But my race was pretty straightforward. Had a couple of little moments with off tracks and whatnot. I know at one stage I made a brilliant overtake on, I think it was Hilliard into turn one, which I'm quite proud of. When the last caution came out, took 4 tyres, and I think I just had good rubber, and I was able to get by, obviously, Ben, and there was someone else, Andrew, I think I got by. That's pretty much my race summed up.
Well, you did a good job, Lewis, and, it's about time I see you on the podium. We like to see you up there too, even though you're the league owner. It's good to see the league owner up on the podium once in a while. So congratulations on your third spot today, Lewis, and anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
Well, I guess everyone who raced today for the patients. We've had dramas with Team Street. We've had a little bit of hot-headedness on the track. Of course, the session was going up late. So everyone for being patient, of course, yourself for the broadcast.
Okay, Lewis. Well, thanks for talking with us, and again, congrats on your third place on the podium today. Good job.
No problem.
Okay, folks, we'll run down through the results real quick here. Robert Barty, of course, coming home our winner. Brian Brewer second. Lewis Van third. Ben Walton fourth. Andrew Pashaw in fifth. Marcus Jedstall in sixth. Michael Hillard seventh. And Colin Slife 8th, and James Lehman 9th. Dustin Markham didn't even start the race, so but anyhow, congratulations to our winner, Robert Barty, and that'll wrap it up for Wings and Fenders tonight. Thank you all for tuning in here on MaxSpeedTV, and we will see you next Sunday here.
TSP calling up.
Uh-oh.
When I can fix it.
There we go. Sorry about that. Tune in next Sunday for another edition of Wings and Fenders. I believe the guys we're talking, they're going to be at Michigan. So tune in next Sunday evening for the Michigan race. So until then, folks, we will see you tomorrow. Let's see, for GAC. GAC will be racing tomorrow, I believe. Maybe, I'm not sure. But anyhow, we will see you